Well, I think this is probably my last street photography video from Berlin. Let's talk about it. So I think it's time to say goodbye now to Berlin. I sold my apartment and these are the last days I'm staying here in Berlin. In this beautiful, smelly, weird, creative and ugly city I spent over 20 years. Today I want to share with you my most favorite spots for street photography. So let's inhale the air of Berlin, but not too much, and let's go.
Let's kick off our walk in the heart of Berlin in Mitte. Yes, the area where tourists are practically stepping on each other's toes is surprisingly a perfect spot for street photography. Between Potsdamer Platz and the government district, you could easily spend hours, if not days, shooting. There's always something happening, the architecture is wonderfully diverse and no one bats an eye if some 2-meter tall bearded guy is taking photos of weird reflections or random strangers. But how did I end up in Berlin? Well, let me tell you a little story. Over 30 years ago, when I was about 13, I had a massive fight with my parents. It wasn't just your average door-slamming drama. My dad and I really went at it because I couldn't care less about school. Well, I decided to run away to Berlin. And why Berlin? I'd seen a movie about punks living together on the streets here, acting as a kind of surrogate family. That sounded like a dream. No parents, no teachers, just freedom and enjoying life. When I arrived in Berlin then, I was a bit nervous, but I bravely made my way to the station where these punks from the movie were supposed to hang out. Let's just say they didn't look like the friendly, welcoming type. They were also a bit too drunk to form coherent sentences. So I did what any brave 13-year-old would do. I hopped on the next train back home to Munich. Berlin was just too big, too creepy, and my rebellious spirit wasn't quite ready for it. But I made myself a promise. One day I'd come back. Fast forward 10 years and I did. That's when I discovered street photography, met people who shaped who I am today, and even found the love of my life. Not bad for a city that once scared me off. Right now I'm at Potsdamer Platz. The reflections in the glass panels on the station here are perfect for photos that give off, well, yes, you could say that, a little bit of a New York vibe. And don't miss the amazing reflections near the escalators. They are like a playground for your camera. Just try not to trip over your own feet while you're looking for the perfect angle here. Yes, I've been there and I've done that. Street photography in Berlin might sound intimidating at first. Berliners, both the few real ones left and the many newcomers, can seem arrogant, cold and standoffish. But don't let that fool you. It's just their protective shell, like a citywide defense mechanism against the chaos, noise and questionable smells of life here. In all my years of street photography in Berlin, I've never had any real problems. That's probably because I'm a bit in the background, overusing the good old fishing technique. The most aggressive encounters I've had in Berlin: a woman punched me in the nose because, well, I sat on her favorite park bench, and a man hit me on the head with his dog's food bowl, calling me a dangerous croissant eater. Whatever that means. As you can see, none of this was photography related.
So since I'm a father of two, Berlin doesn't seem the right place for me and my family. But once it was. Without coming to Berlin, I wouldn't have met my beautiful wife, I wouldn't got these beautiful children I have today, and maybe I never would have get to know street photography. And so I'm very thankful for all these years in this beautiful city, and it's still worth traveling. For street photography, it's a magnificent city. Just come here and see by yourself. But now, let's continue.
I've always lived in Friedrichshain, the neighborhood I'm walking through right now. Around Frankfurter Tor is a fantastic spot for street photography. People here are pretty laid back, and the architecture of the so-called Stalin buildings and the historic subway stations make it a perfect playground for you and your camera. If there's one spot in central Berlin, I'd recommend it's this bustling square. Whether you're up on the square itself, surrounded by the mix of characters between the fountain and a TV tower, or inside the station, you'll find amazing photo opportunities at any time of the day. These guys from a so-called open-air church wanted to pray for me and with me today. That was nice, and I think I might have caught slightly better photos after this procedure with the help of the Almighty. If you're doing a photo walk at Alexanderplatz, pay special attention to the station entrances. In the mornings and evenings, you'll often catch beautiful light streaming in, or spend 20 minutes on the platform and just soak in the moment. Trains arriving, evening light, expressive faces, or striking silhouettes.
Well, I think somehow I will miss this beautiful, crazy city. I've spent over 20 years here, like I said, and somehow this city will be always a part of me, I guess. But now let's get back to life in Munich and join me on my Munich street photography adventures. See you in the next video.